All right, good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Today I got something a little bit different going on, y'all. This was my ride for the last, yesterday and then this morning, I guess it is. And it's Friday morning, 6:30 a.m., something like that. And I'm in Bonduel, Wisconsin. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm way up here, y'all. Way out of my comfort zone. Tennessee's a long way from here. Anyway, got this little rental car yesterday, drove all the way up here, and I came up here to look at a truck. And been talking to this guy that owns this truck. We're at Specialty Truck LLC. Yes, Specialty Truck LLC in Bonduel, Wisconsin. And here is the truck that I'm looking at. It's a 2003 model Kenworth T800. It's got a good bit of miles on it. But for me and what I do, it's not going to affect me too much. And plus, the length of the chassis is already long enough for me to put a double set of log bunks on it. So we don't have to do a whole lot of work to it. So that's one reason I drove. But also, y'all, this truck is set up like I wanted. It's double framed. It's got the heavy rear ends in the back. It's got the 46,000 pound rears, 20,000 pound fronts, double framed, C15 Caterpillar, 475 horse, 18 speed. I mean, it's a heavy truck. It's set up for working. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of give you all a little walk around here. We're gonna kind of look it over right quick. I actually beat the salesman and everybody here this morning. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't late. So what I'll do is I'll take y'all and we'll go ahead and look at it. And I don't want to do too much videoing, of the place, because I don't want to reveal any of their proprietary information to anybody or nothing like that. So I got to be careful about that, y'all. And when they get here, I'll talk to them and ask them some more questions and see if it'd be all right if we could video some more. But you know what I'm saying. I just want to be respectful is all. But anyway, I'm gonna open the hood on this thing and we'll look at it right quick. All right, I guess we'll just start right here at the front. It's got these big 425 float tires on it. They're not too bad. They're gonna need to be replaced before long. And those are an expensive item. I mean, they're, $800. The truck does got dual steering gear boxes on this heavy front axle, which is what I wanted. I'm not going to spend too much time looking at it, y'all, because we got a long way to go to get back to the house, and I want to take y'all with me, so I don't want to make the video too awful long. But some of the things I'm going to be looking at is going to be the frame. And on this double frame, let me show y'all. Some of you might not know what a double frame is. So you see how you got a frame inside of a frame, and it's not going to be perfect, usually up in there and then back here by the duals is usually where the frame rust is the worst. So that's where you want to pay attention to the frame rust. This truck, like I said, y'all, it's used. He's got a pretty good price on it, so I'm not going to nitpick it too hard. As long as there's nothing majorly wrong with it, we're going to take it back to Tennessee. Let y'all get a good look at it. It's got new paint on the cab. The frame has been cleaned and painted. This truck ran as a garbage disposal truck in Ohio for a while. Again, it's got a C15 Caterpillar, 475 horse. We're gonna run it down the road here in just a minute, check it out, and then I'll come back and pull the oil cap and check the blow by. I'll try to show you all that. That'll let us know the condition of the engine. It's got 969,000 miles on it, so it's a high time. It's a high time, old girl. But these Kenworths are pretty good trucks. And you can see right here, there's some pitting on the frame. I don't know how well y'all can see that. See, like right here, they've already cleaned that and then 415'd it. So, we should be in pretty good shape. Fuel tanks and everything look good. It's got an external hydraulic tank. If you ever wanted to run if you wanted to run some kind of PTO, off of it. Frame looks pretty good. It's got these big heavy rears under the back end of it, which is what I wanted. Coming in and out of the woods, you need something heavy. Rear tires look fair. It's got this Chalmers walking beam suspension, 46,000 pound capacity. And that walking beam suspension will allow the rear tires to do this number and stay in contact with the ground. I mean, overall, y'all, it's a pretty good looking truck. Pretty good looking truck. At some point in time, it's had a tag axle under it, which has been took out, and that's good because I don't want to have to fool with a tag axle. Y'all, I'm gonna dive a little bit deeper in this thing. I'm gonna look at the wheel seals, make sure the wheel seals ain't leaking, rear ends. I want to get under the bottom and look at the transmission area, make sure ain't none of the mounts broke or nothing like that, and check the wheel seals on the front, and just make sure the old girl's gonna make it back home to Tennessee. You know, when you're buying one of these used trucks, y'all have some common sense. It's a used truck. Like I said, this thing got 969,000 miles on it. It's almost 1 million miles. The motor, at some point in time, sooner rather than later, is going to need some work. You know, you got to adjust for stuff like that. But people come to these places and buy these trucks and expect it to be, it thing may break down on me on the way home. You know, there's a good possibility of that. And I've already prepared myself for that. So when you buy these trucks like this, you know, used with a lot of miles on them, you just got to you got to figure that into your equation. I'm gonna pop y'all in the cab right quick and let y'all see the inside. Well, I'll tell you what, I ain't gonna worry about the cab because y'all gonna get to see plenty of it the rest of the day. I'm gonna look this thing over, crank it up, run it a little bit, and then get these guys paid and try to head on back to the house. Now, y'all, here we are coming into Chicago. I'm not gonna take you along through the whole drive through town here because traffic gets backed up and gets kind of congested here, but I did want to show you just a little bit of our journey. Y'all, I'm right here at the TA truck stop just south of Chicago on Interstate 94, I believe is what it is. Got the hood open. nothing's wrong. I just wanted to check the motor. They replaced a couple of injectors on it whenever they were working on it up in Wisconsin. And what I wanted to do was pull the dipstick, you know, every few hours and just make sure that it still wasn't putting fuel into the oil, if that makes any sense. Because I definitely don't want to, you know, wash out my rings on the motor, if that makes any sense. But it's holding good. I got some extra oil to put in it if it needed it. So far, it's doing pretty good. Old truck's doing a pretty good job. I've got a, let's see, it'll be on the front differential on the back. Seal's leaking just a little bit. It ain't no big deal, but you know, something I need to keep an eye on. And as I told you earlier while we was driving, my Jake brake kind of wonky. I believe I got a clutch switch that's bad, because when you max the clutch, it disables your Jake brake. And I think I got a switch bad on it, so I'm gonna have to look at it when I get home. I ain't worried about it right now. I don't really need it because we're empty. We ain't hauling nothing. But anyway, I just want to kind of update y'all a little bit. We're gonna get back in the truck, head on south. I got full tanks of fuel now. That'll carry us on home. We're gonna get on down the road. I appreciate y'all hanging out and going with me on this deal with this truck. And hopefully we'll get it home, get a log bed built soon for it. We'll start hauling logs, and I'll take y'all with me on that. And y'all, I don't know how well you'll be able to see and how well you'll be able to hear. We're 70 miles from Indianapolis on the Chicago side, coming down the interstate, 65 south. I said 94 earlier, and that was a mistake. I'm sorry about that. We're on Interstate 65. And they got these big wind turbines out here in the field, you know, producing electricity. I thought that was really neat. You know, down there where I'm at in Tennessee, we don't have a whole lot of wind turbines. Matter of fact, we don't have any at all. But man, there's just a bunch of them out here. These big open fields. Got the farmers, you know, tilling up the land and planting and all that good mess. It's been a good day. Got to see a lot of stuff. Truck's running good. Been praying. I said, Lord, we got to get this thing home, so I'm depending on it. I depend on the Lord for about everything I do, y'all. No joke. About the 10th or 15th time that my phone had come out of that thing and hit the dash. This old truck rides pretty rough with these heavy suspension under. Every time you hit a bridge, you know it's rough on the cab. Of course, this air ride seat that I'm sitting in is pretty nice. That's a big upgrade over red. Y'all tell me what you think on the names. I kind of want to keep it simple. I'd like to call this one Big Red, and then the other truck, the C70, would call them like maybe Old Red or Little Red or something like that. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know down there in the comments. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. And like I said, y'all, just because I got Big Red, that don't mean that Little Red's going anywhere. I'm going to keep it for a spare truck and also a wood truck going in and out of the woods on it. So I can get in places with that C70 that I can't get with this big truck. So, you know, I could sell red, yeah, but I couldn't get enough money out of it to justify what I put in it. He's in pretty good shape. So I was just kind of thinking I'd keep it. It's worth more money to me to keep it than it is to sell it. Because, you know, a while back when we had that job over there across the road on the college track, we had to truck all them logs up out of that bottom. Y'all remember that? Well, this truck right here never would do that. Ain't no way. You couldn't get down in there and get turned around, and if you did get down in there, you'd never get back out. So, stuff like that is what I'll keep Little Red for. This truck right here will excel and getting our logs hauled back and forth to the sawmill. And I'm sure I'll haul a few loads here and there with Little Red too. You know, if I got an odd number of logs that need to be hauled or something like that, I'll use Little Red to do it. You know, versus burning a bunch of fuel in this thing and time on it to just haul a half a load of logs or something like that, you know. I do got my eyes on the pump trailer. It's a Pitts pump trailer. I'm going tomorrow, Saturday. I'm going tomorrow to pick it up, Lord willing. Something don't happen. So then we'll be set up with a truck and a pump trailer. We just got to build a log bed for this thing. I'll take y'all along for that too. And these wind turbines, when you see them on TV, they look kind of small, but these things are huge. And there's just miles of them. I mean, as far as you can see down through there. As far as I can see anyway. Pretty neat. We're coming into Indianapolis now. Starting to get in a little bit of rain. It ain't bad, but a little bit. I feel like when we get south of town down here, we're probably going to get in some more. Radio works, windshield wiper works, which is good. I've been listening to some tunes while I've been driving. I wanted to tell y'all before I get off of here, I wanted to tell you about, you know, how this truck came about. When I first started looking for a truck, this is exactly what I had in mind. A T800 Kenworth, heavy spec, C15 cat, 18-speed transmission. Everything I wanted in a truck, this truck is it. And I prayed about it for a long, long time, y'all. Long time, over a year. And I looked at trucks, you know, multiple trucks, different trucks, multiple brands and whatnot. And none of them, you know, none of them worked out for one reason or another. And then finally one day I ran across this thing on truck paper. Make sure I don't get it lost here. I run across this thing on truck paper and called the guy. The listing didn't have it listed as a heavy spec. It had it listed as something else. When I called about it, I found out that it was heavy spec. You know, it had 20,000 pound front axle, 46,000 pound rear. You know, it's set up nice. 15 liter, you know, big bore engine. Cause I'm gonna be hauling 85,000 gross, pretty regular. So I wanted something that would haul the mail, you know, that would get the job done. And most all the trucks I've been running across has had little small hamster motors in them. But y'all, when I run across this truck, and I had prayed about it so long, it's almost like the good Lord just dropped the truck in my lap. And it was every single thing I wanted in a truck. The only thing that it doesn't have is a full locking rear end. It's got inner axle lock, but it don't have differential lockers. And whenever the rear ends start needing some work, I'm just going to find me a set of rear ends that do have interaction lock. So it won't be a big deal. But I just wanted to take a minute and give praise to the Lord for helping me with this truck. You know, and I've been nervous about driving it home because this 600 and some odd miles from up there in Wisconsin down to Tennessee. I prayed over it. I prayed on, you know, along the way. I'll tell you, God answers prayers. He answers my prayers, and He'll answer your prayers. Now, it might not be in the way that you think of it. It might be a little different than what you're expecting, but I can promise you that if you'll wait on the Lord, you'll listen to that still small voice that He puts in your head, y'all, it'll be worth it. I mean, you can see where I'm at. This has nothing to do with me. This is all praise to the Lord. I just want to take a minute to tell y'all that and give praise where it's due. I appreciate y'all watching and hanging out with me, going on this trip home. I really do appreciate it. I love y'all. Thank you for being here, watching, hanging out. I'm going to put my email up here on the screen. If any of you need me, holler at me. Be glad to talk to you. And as always, I'm going to be praying for you, each and every one of you. Y'all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.